Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here with Beth Butzlaff, who is Vice President Cruise Sales Global for Virtuoso, the luxury travel network. And we're here to talk about luxury cruises. And this is Insider Travel Report. Beth, I wanted to talk to you briefly first about Virtuoso's programs, and you've been updating your Virtuoso Voyages program, which is now actually one of the communities within this. We're actually here at the Virtuoso Travel Week last night, and we're all dressed up for the big prom, or as we call it,
the prom,
or the gala.
Yes.
But Beth was nice enough to stop by and tell us about cruising here. Let's talk about the Virtuoso Voyages program and where it is today.
I would love to. It's one of the exclusive programs that Virtuoso has. It's a hosted program. And what's significant about this program is that it's just growing. Mm-hmm. A few years ago, we only had 356 sailings. Today, we've doubled in sailings. So that means we need a lot more hosts because it's a hosted program. We're doing this worldwide initiative to train hosts around the world because we're global. We're training hosts in Latin America and Australia, and the program has just evolved over the last 25 years in that you have a lot of choices when you get on board. You can do a curated experience, you can do a car and driver, or you can do an experience that your travel advisor creates for you.
Oh, so you can customize the experience, right?
That's right. That's what we're all about.
Yeah, so you are going out to get more hosts. It's amazing because you did start years ago. That was one of the seminal Virtuoso programs back when it was API, right?
That's right. We were the trendsetter.
Yeah, you were definitely. Now the other thing I wanted to ask you is just about trends in luxury cruising.
Oh, okay.
What are you seeing? I mean, we've seen one thing. It's the last few months, especially. Every time I turn around, there's a luxury expedition ship.
Oh yeah.
What is happening with that luxury expedition market, and are your members selling it?
Oh, they're absolutely selling it. And like you said, there's about 19 ships that are going to come out in the next 2 years. And what's different about this sector of the business is that it is luxury. So you have a choice. You can do the rustic kind of get your hands dirty type of expedition.
Like more the adventure
side,
right.
Or you can go and experience these really remote places with a glass of champagne.
and a nice bed and a great cabin and suite, right?
Yes, and looking at the world go by in a hot tub. Yeah.
So one time you're on the ice in Antarctica, and the next thing you're in your luxury suite, right?
That's exactly right. And we're seeing that people want to see that different, that authentic, that remote. So this is perfect.
So why do you think this is happening? Why is there this explosion in luxury expedition cruising?
Well, it has to do, I think, with self-discovery and wanting to have some meaningful experience and memories in their lives. Things aren't as important to people anymore. They want memories, they want experiences, and they want to do it with their families.
And so they're doing that. Now, what about sort of more traditional luxury cruising? That's seen a great increase in the number of ships coming in. Now, as a percentage of the total market, I mean, they all probably fit into Royal Caribbean Oasis of the Seas.
Yes.
But it seems to be, we've seen a lot more ships launched in the luxury space, right?
We certainly have. And there seems to be a lot more toys involved with them, too. We're seeing helicopters and submarines and marinas that are right off the back of the yacht. And so there's a huge demand for this right now. And I think it's also just about having some really intimate experiences with their family, and you can do that on a yacht. You can go to these places that aren't on an itinerary that's scheduled. You can follow a whale. You can go and swim with a pod of sea lions, or I don't think that's called a pod, but
I think it's a pod of whales and a herd of sea lions. I don't know. Well, we have to take an expedition cruise.
Yes, exactly. And find out. Yeah.
But it is interesting how that's really exploded on that side, and I think it's interesting because you're seeing this, and you're also seeing luxury on board, sort of formerly what I would have called contemporary ships, where you're getting sort of luxury with ship within a ship things, and that seems to have been a growth trend for several years, right?
No, that's absolutely true, and I think that's evolved with families traveling together, because there are the boomers that want to go off and the kids are out and about and they want to experience luxury on their own, but then they come back and they want to be with their grandkids and they want their grandkids to have access to all these amazing things. So there's the ship within the ship, and they have these beautiful suites and private restaurants, and then they can still enjoy
all the amenities of thing and let their kids go wild, right?
Exactly, that's right, go wild.
Yeah. Now, the other thing that's happening, I think I've seen, is that this focus on destination within luxury, that it's can you top this, or where can you take me where I have never been before, right? And so you're seeing destination immersion and things like that with a lot of the luxury lines, right?
That's absolutely right. And they want to bring you to places that you've never been before and experience things you've never experienced before. So you might spend the night in a place for a couple nights.
Yeah, a lot of overnights.
Yeah, experience the nightlife. And there's some cruise lines that own private islands. So you may be spending your time on a private island and then go on board for dinner. So there's these experiences that they want to give the client, that they can go back and say, no one's ever been where I've been.
Yeah. And then I think off of that same vein is you're getting more, you said overnights, but you're also getting pre and post, where they're actually taking you on tours before or after you get on the cruise ship. And that's part of the whole program, right?
Yes, and that's something that we're kind of playing with as a Virtuoso Voyages program. So stay tuned for that. Yeah.
So you would have dedicated Virtuoso Voyages, including a land program as well, right?
I can't say, but maybe.
Wow. Well, we'll have to go. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is obviously river cruises with luxury, and of course, you and I were both at the Virtuoso Symposium in Amsterdam, where we were. The symposium was actually on 7 different river cruise brands, and what I think we learned is there really isn't a bad river cruise brand. It's just what your customers want, and you've seen an explosion of that, of luxury buyers wanting river cruises. And why do you think that's happened now?
Well, you think about the rivers and where they go, in Europe in particular. They're right in the city. That's how they traveled back in the day. And so you have access to these amazing cities in Europe. You get off, you can have dinner in town. You don't have to take a bus. And there's this great feeling of being immersed in the community, that many lines will provide bikes that you can to ride to the next port, and then you can continue on the way. And I think that is a way of traveling through Europe without having to pack and unpack. It's a floating
hotel, and
hotel.
But that's been the argument for a long time, and it just seems to have exploded in the number of brands and products breadth. And I guess in that vein, I'll go back to the whole industry in terms of the luxury side of it. Is there seems to have been an explosion of brands, of product, all of a sudden, and is that a challenge for your members now to keep it all straight? Because it literally, there's so many brands now in the luxury space alone, let alone the premium side, which you also sell, that you got to do a lot of training to let them figure out exactly what they should get for their clients, right?
That's absolutely right, and we have an amazing training program that is within the cruise department and within just Virtuoso. But for cruise specifically, we have many programs coming up that will focus on the differentiation of each of the lines, because you really want to put the client on the right product. And there is so many products out there that you really have to be aware of what is what. So that's one of the reasons we come to Virtuoso Travel Week every year, is to learn about that and go to globetrotting.
I know, yeah, and globetrotting is one of the Virtuoso communities that is growing and growing, and you really have to go see what it's all about. Well, Beth, thank you very much for filling us in both on what Virtuoso is doing with the Virtuoso Voyages and the upgrades to that, as well as your thoughts on the trends in luxury cruising.
Thank you very much.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.